upon Mr. Ajay Kukreja, Director HR, Honeywell International India Private Limited, to kindly address the audience.
Officials of the institution, chairman of the session, and esteemed panelists on the dais, and my friends from the classroom. A very good morning to all of you. We've already received the first instruction from the session chairman to squeeze on time. So what I'm trying to do here now is, as we go forward, see what we can do in terms of talking fast through this. We'll have some time at the end for questions, so I'll be happy to take the question at the end. Essentially, I'm going to talk to you about the organization, setting the context of some of the best practices that we have in crafting high-performance systems, and then we'll come to talking about them. I'm not going to read slide by slide, line by line on each of the slides, so please bear with that. And this is a picture of Honeywell Global. The figures that you see here are 2008 figures, because 2009 figures are not yet in the public domain, to be in the public domain. So I'm having to share with you the business performance of the four largest businesses that we have. So you have an automation control systems business, we have an aerospace business, which is our second largest business, and then we have a specialty materials business, and we have the transportation solutions business. We are among the Fortune 100 companies in US. I'll first talk about our aerospace business. Essentially, there are three broad business groups in this, where we serve airline customers. I'm sure all of you flown the likes of Kingfisher and SpiceJet and Jet Airways. We count them as customers in this business. Business general and aviation. I'm sure you've seen enough business jets, the small aircraft parked on the Delhi airport. We fly those aircraft. Basically, the engines on those aircraft and the cockpits of those aircraft are designed by Honeywell. Defense and space. We have a large portfolio of products in this domain, to the extent that we serve the US Armed Forces right from the main battle tank to their space shuttles, in terms of avionics and guidance systems in this domain. Moving on from here, I'll talk about one of the largest businesses, which is the automation control business of Honeywell. In this business, we make products for environmental and combustion control. We make products for life safety, and the array of products here ranges essentially from personal protective equipment to gas detection equipment. In Honeywell Building Solutions, so if you are sitting in a building like this and you have air conditioning and heating controls, etc., so those controls are designed by Honeywell Building Solutions. Similarly, process solutions business works on large refineries, power plants, etc., to define and manage their control processes. In the security business, I'm sure now you're beginning to see increased emphasis on security, and you're beginning to see security cameras and things of that kind everywhere. For example, the boom barrier on your gate, those are the kind of things that are made by Honeywell. In the sensing and control business, we again develop sensing devices, so the thermostats and things of that kind you see in various buildings are made by Honeywell. In the transportation business, we essentially have two businesses where we make turbochargers. I'm sure you've heard of the car Nano. The diesel version of the car Nano will be powered by the world's smallest turbocharger, which will weigh about 3 kg, and that has been designed by Honeywell. Then we have the consumer products group, where we make several components that go into your automobiles, like your spark plugs and stuff of that kind. In terms of specialty materials, about four or five broad businesses. The biggest of them is the UOP business, and as in the present presentation further, you will see that UOP is a business which basically makes technology that runs refineries. Then you have resins and chemicals business, and you have a specialty products and a fluorine products business. One of the important things here is we make a fiber called Spectra, which is lighter than steel but has anti-ballistic properties. So that's some of the interesting work we do. This is one area of business where globally we own something like 1,500 patents. And this is the mother of all things that we have. This is our technology center in Bangalore, Hyderabad and Madurai, where we do all the cutting edge research. The global R&D headquarters of Honeywell are based in Bangalore. Coming to the India footprint, and the reason I am walking you through this backdrop is to give you a perspective of the size and scale of this organization, so that you can appreciate some of the HR practices when we talk in terms of high performance work systems. We employ roughly about 8% of Honeywell's global talent pool in India. Upwards of 10,000 people. We have 5 manufacturing locations, 4 global technology centers. As I was telling you, at this point in time we are investing in the 5th technology center. That will be an investment of upwards of $30 million, and that's coming up right in your neighborhood in Gurgaon. We've been rated by several institutions, either among great places to work or top 15 companies to work for at different points in time. Last year we won the HR Excellence Award that was instituted by SAIL and Ahmedabad. In India, we are the licensor for TPE 331 engine. So this is basically a turboprop engine that we make out of India for global supply. I'm not going to go into more details. In the automation control systems, this is one of the biggest businesses that we have, as you will notice. Just tell me a moment. In this business, we are responsible for providing security solutions to the likes of RBI, Bombay House, Reliance Refinery, etc. In the transportation systems, we make turbochargers. As I was talking to you about the nano turbochargers and things like that, we make turbochargers for practically the entire European world. In specialty materials, I was talking about UOP earlier, so we have the distinction of running practically every refinery of Reliance and Indian Oil. These are some of the recent highlights. So when you land at Delhi airport, for instance, and you see you run your lighting, that's done by Honeywell. This is talking about our commitment to society. One of the interesting things that we do in terms of our commitment to society is furthering the cause of science and math education, and to that extent we bring the Nobel laureates to India. So far we brought something like 4 to 5 Nobel laureates who go to various universities and talk about their exploits with science. Coming to high performance organization, how do we manage to run this kind of a global diverse talent pool that you saw has about 120,000 employees spanning something like 90 countries world over? We adopt essentially what is known as the STAR model. Please don't mistake STAR model to be an acronym. It is called STAR because it is designed around a star. So there is an element of strategy, there is an element of management systems and processes, and there is a structure, people capability and metrics and rewards, because it's important to measure what you do, because what gets measured is what gets delivered. We take pride in the fact that we are building a better world that's safer and secure, more comfortable and energy efficient, more innovative and productive. We are Honeywell. In terms of strategy, the picture that you see is the leadership of Honeywell. You have chairman on the top and you have the other 4 business leaders. In terms of strategy, we have great position in good industry, and you saw some of the businesses, they are cyclical in nature, therefore you have to remain diverse. We focus on initiatives and behaviors, and we focus on one Honeywell. So despite the diversity of industry segments that we operate in, the idea is to remain one Honeywell at heart. We keep investing in new products and in new geographies. In terms of management systems and processes, essentially 3 core processes where we do strategy, where we do annual planning, and we do management resource review. These are the core processes at the heart of running the organization. That's broadly about the structure. Vertically aligned organization, functional groups that cut horizontally across the organization, and cross-business councils. So for example, in India, when we run the business, there is an India Executive Council at the apex where leaders of the largest entities are a part, and then you have functional councils like HR Council, Communication Council, and so on and so forth. In terms of people capability, the model is very simple. You have leveraging technology, one of the sessions also, so we talk about direct access, we talk about shared services. And the largest shared services, which is captive shared services, is run out of India for the entire globe, out of Bangalore for us. Then we have centers of excellence, and we have the HR generalists, so people like us who partner with business leaders and help them prepare the strategy for the business. Essentially focusing on metrics and rewards, monthly operating rhythms are the norm in the organization. Our processes are designed for Six Sigma, and we follow the Six Sigma methodology. And there is a critical focus on metrics and dashboards and review of those dashboards. As I said in the beginning, what gets measured is what gets delivered. And the reward system. So there are various rewards, right from impromptu rewards to very thought through rewards across the organization. That's what makes us a great place to work. Coming to high performance working systems, I was inspired by the movie Three Idiots recently. I don't know how many of you were. So I thought I'll pick up only the 3 things here. That's the only similarity with the movie. So I thought I'll pick up the 3 great lessons that I thought were good in this organization, of the various organizations that I work for. What we do in Voice of Customer is understanding from our internal customers. So what HR function does is goes to the top 1,000 managers of the company every year in March without fail and says, please rate us and give us the feedback both on the performance as well as the importance of various things that we do. And based on this feedback, then we prepare our HR strategy for the next year as to what are the areas of improvement, and this also helps us improve the HR capability in the organization. The Honeywell operating system, this is a continuous improvement process where we work on continuous improvement, as you saw earlier in the presentation. We've talked about design for Six Sigma and Six Sigma being a way of life. So you will find that that runs through every thread of the fabric of the organization. Here are some visuals of how we do that. And the last thing that we talk about is the management resource review, where we essentially do the talent mapping of the organization and do the talent review in a very, very structured process. It covers the top 200 people in the organization. This is done both vertically by each of the businesses, and it is also done horizontally for the geographies like India. So large geographies like India essentially focus on doing this for the country and evaluate people for their fitment for growing into the next level of roles. And this also helps us prepare for the succession planning and retention strategies for key talent in the organization. It also is a forum where the leadership of the organization and the HR leadership of the organization comes together and talks about moving people across businesses so that people who are in the pipeline of global leadership get cross SDG, as we call it, focus, and get to learn different nuances of different businesses. Because some of our businesses are long cycle businesses and some of our businesses are very short cycle businesses. So it also helps us give an opportunity to rotate talent across these business verticals. That's all I have to talk about today. Thank you so much.